Hey, welcome in Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us.
What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
Starting to pick up.
Yep. Well, that'll be great on live, on a podcast.
Hey, we may lose one of these canopies. There it goes.
Oh, boy.
I knew that was going to happen.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas.
Yeah, you're live, Irma. Welcome. What's up, Irma? How you doing? We got you. Hey, we're tapped into your computer there too, where you work. We can actually see you on video. I hacked your computer. So beautiful earrings today, Irma. You're always beautiful. Very nice.
You're so silly.
Good morning, Huntsville. Rob.
Oh, man, welcome back, man. Welcome back. You know, you're on a hiatus. Just kidding. You're only here once a month now.
Yes, I wanted to give my crew an opportunity to get out in the community as well. So
you wanted to give your peeps an opportunity to be here.
I got some good peeps.
We've had Pablo on.
Birdie, Chris,
Gayla,
Abby.
Yeah, that's right. Abby was on.
Yes. Abby actually is moving into a new role at the Color Bar. She's moving in to be our marketing director.
Awesome, man.
So, we're rocking and rolling.
Yeah,
she's expanding and doing all the things.
It's been cool, Justin, because every one of your employees, your team members. What do you call
my stylist,
your
staff,
stylist,
my team?
What did Walmart used to do? I'm not comparing. It's not a comparison at all. What was Walmart? The associate.
Yeah, no.
Associate.
Those are the people that help me.
Yeah.
My associates.
I've always said this when I had business. I always said that they work with me. I never said they work for me. I always said they work with me.
Everyone does work with me. So, and I work with them. So
I remember when we had our ribbon cutting at our second location when I had my IT company. I let my cousin cut the ribbon, and somebody was like, "Why aren't you cutting the ribbon? You're the owner." I said, because he's been with me since day one.
Absolutely.
And let him cut the thing. I'm just the guy that runs the business. Let him have some fun.
Yeah.
So
just the mastermind behind it all, huh?
And just trying to make it happen. Here we are. Welcome in. Good morning. Happy
on this
Thursday.
Lovely rainy Thursday.
Beautiful.
And I say that like positively, not negatively, because my yard looks so good right now.
It's getting soaked, man.
Oh, it's great. I love it.
3 days of tremendous blessing with this rain, and so we're so thankful for that.
Is this supposed to go through Saturday?
No, it is going to clear out of here. There's like a 1% chance, which means nothing. And it is, the cold front is on the way, and it is legitimate. Have you heard about this?
Slightly. I don't like the news because it's so negative, but
Weather is positive right now. 72, partly cloudy Saturday. They said in the morning you may have to wear a light jacket. And I'm going to be out here at 5:30 setting up for Fair on the Square.
Yeah.
And it is going to be chilly to us Texans. I know
Right.
if Jerica's
it's been
watching,
110 degrees outside.
If Jerica from Fargo's watching this morning, she's laughing right now because they've been in light sweaters and it's already been in the 40s there, and that's and it's still short weather. I see folks there in jackets and shorts at 40
I was in
degrees.
Nashville this past weekend and it was great weather. I mean, it was like high of 80.
What was going on in Nashville, man?
Just visiting some friends and a hair show. So
Sweet.
yeah, it was fun.
Well,
Went and saw this really cool cave. What's the name of it? The something witch.
the Blair Witch Cave.
No,
I'm just kidding.
the bee witch or something. I don't know. It was a very weird tour. Like they talked about this witch, but then you went down into the cave, and I was like, "Where's all the history of the cave?" Like, that's more interesting than your witch story.
This is a kind of a rabbit hole because you go for salon stuff, but you go to a cave.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I've never when you go to Nashville, you go for trade shows and the Grand Ole Opry and Elvis and Graceland.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Graceland?
Oh, I've been to all of those before.
Really?
Yeah.
What was Graceland like?
Graceland was really cool. Like, I have lots of photos. I should go back and find some. I'll send them in so we can talk about it next time. But Elvis's house has a lot of mirrors, by the way. I mean, it's like he was infatuated with this elf.
Was it
there's mirrors on the ceiling, on the walls. Like, I took so many pictures.
and you see yourself in a reflection of all these
in all
mirrors.
different directions. But yeah, it was really cool. So, and then we're back in Tennessee for our family vacation, going to Gatlinburg. So I can't wait to go to Dollyland.
Oh, cool, man.
Yeah, so that's in December.
That's an old Ronnie Millsap song, Smoky Mountain Rain.
Yeah.
He's gone as far as Gatlinburg.
But yes.
All right, well, here we go, friends. Welcome in on a Thursday.
Who do we have joining us this morning?
We're going to have Bill Brown. He is the former TV play-by-play man of the Houston Astros, and we felt, man, with the Astros and the postseason again, so appropriate to have Bill on. He'll be joining us here in just a few moments after our first break of the morning. We do want to welcome you in, and thanks for being a part of this show on a Thursday. It is your show, Huntsville. Good morning, Huntsville. Big thank you to Elliot Herzlich with Elliot's Jewelers and online at elliotsjewelers.com for sponsoring our studio. Special thank you as well to Paul Oley of the Gallery. And we are here, and he is back on the first Thursday of every month. Justin Killingsworth wouldn't be able to bring you the show without the Color Bar. And Justin, you're one of our Foundation 5. And man, first and foremost, more importantly, appreciate your friendship, all that you do for the community. The Color Bar is still here in Huntsville, not going anywhere. No. We'll say it every Thursday. But things in Conroe going pretty well,
absolutely,
man.
Absolutely.
How's the new location going?
It's rocking and it's rolling. We're immersing. Gosh, that sounded so country. Immersing ourselves in the community there as well, just like we are here, and it's going.
Yeah,
we're blessed.
That's great, man.
You talk about growth. I think about going back to when we did our first show here, Rob. It was just like right here.
Yeah.
Just one table. Now you've got 3, and
more
you got a
stuff.
whole office down there.
Yeah, well, that's not mine, but it is what it is. One day maybe. But yeah, we've got a banner up, and Justin, you've been such a good friend, man. And when we started, you provided so many opportunities, and we give away prizes every single day on this show. And you know who that's thanks to? This guy.
Thanks to our wonderful community who brings all this stuff.
Yes, but I want to give credit where credit is due, and the credit is
just an idea.
You had the idea, and the community has responded, and almost every single day. And we're 124 episodes in.
I know. Can you believe that?
We're really not. We're actually 127. I messed up again because I was uploading all of our episodes to Spotify for the audio. And I was like, wait a minute, why does Spotify say 127? Well, there was 3 of them that I did double numbers on.
Oh no.
So, and it happened again recently. So there's 2 episode 42s.
So I've been horrible. So what was off with the show?
What do you mean what was off?
What was off with the show? I've been horrible and I haven't been able to watch it.
It was I'll go ahead and show it because we're going to do it here in a little bit. And I need to fix it because I created the logo. I found Randolph's logo, like the font, and I went to a website called whatthefont.com. You upload the image and it tells you what the font is.
Yeah.
And so I recreated his logo, but Photoshop is really bad about spelling. It doesn't squiggly line it for you. And I typed faster than Photoshop can input it.
Yeah.
Cuisine is misspelled.
Oh.
So it's kind of, it kind of flows though, because if you think about Louisiana and Cajun, cuisine should be spelt that way because it's cuisine.
Cuisine.
That's what you call people in your family, your cousins. Man, my cousin down there in East Texas down there now. My cousin. But that's what it was, and Quentin Music Man Williams ended up winning $100 because I started flapping my lips, and I said, if somebody can figure out what's wrong with the show, I'll give you a crisp $100 bill. And 2 weeks later, Quentin figured it out. You know who discovered it? I didn't even know this was wrong.
Was it him?
No, it was Denise Olivas with Walker County Federal Credit Union. She's like, wait a minute, I'm the one that found it. Why don't I get $100? So that is the key word.
We'll leave it to Denise.
That is the key word.
Hornets.
I know we hopped right into it. It's Hornets this week, along with your name, on the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line. You can text that in right now to 936-339-0139. Justin, I'm going to let you be the videographer for me for just a brief moment. And we are going to show folks, if you watched yesterday, many of you do, of course, watch every day. Maybe you are tuning in for the first time. But, Justin, hold this camera there on our beautiful cookies that we're giving away again today. I'm going to show this on the screen here. These are from our friend, the Purple Cactus, Amy Pitcock. And she gave us a box of these yesterday to eat, Justin.
I kind of hate that it's wrapped, so I can't open it.
No, and you know what? They're not just wrapped. I learned this.
They're individually wrapped.
They're individually, they're sealed. It's not the plastic that just comes undone. It's completely sealed. And Amy baked all of these the other night. This box is given away. Carolyn Gibson, I believe. I better not. No, Carolyn. It's Kathy Schweitzer won yesterday, and Kathy, I think, is going to come by this morning and pick those up.
Let's see.
So,
kitchen sink. Look at that kitchen sink.
Yeah, and you know what we were joking around yesterday? Have you ever been in the disposal and you had to clear it out? That's kind of what that looks like.
Reese's cup. Brown butter caramel chocolate. Ooh, this pumpkin cinnamon roll. That looks delicious. And then a Nutella stuffed red velvet.
That is my favorite, by the way, the red velvet. I had that yesterday.
Well, you didn't save me one?
No, man, sorry.
Oh.
Well, I ended at Linda McKenzie.
You knew I was coming.
I went to Linda McKenzie down this, right next door over to the Republican office.
There you go. That's kind of cool, Rob. Where'd you find that?
It's NDI. Look, see?
NDI.
Yeah.
We don't want to show everybody all our things, huh?
You know how we started that was Billy Cawthon. It's a little cash on Fridays. Wears the nice shirts.
Yeah.
But sometimes, has the nice jeans on.
Yeah.
And so I had it one day, and I was like, wonder if I can get Billy. So I just went like this. I said, Billy, what are you wearing today? And then it turned into, we have folks that drive by in the mornings now. Irma always honks at us when she drives by. Well, Rick and Kay Boning, it was like a parade. They kept going around 4 or 5 times. And so finally I said, man, we got to get them on video. I was always joking around about putting a camera outside. So we just popped that up and we were able to video them.
Sweet.
When the water main got broke over here.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know if you remember that. Just right over here, they have, to water the new flower beds. Those water spigots have always been in there. Well, one of them broke. And so,
wait, to water the new cacti?
Yeah, but they've already been in there. It's just they weren't in. It's like, old property.
I don't think we have to water cactuses very often.
It was like old galvanized pipe or something that had just
fun.
And so I had Rick Boning went out there while they were repairing it. And you just see water flying everywhere, and he just took the phone, walked out there. So you never know what's going to happen here on the show.
I just see Rick.
So anyways, hey, we're excited. Thanks for joining us. Great show again lined up. Our good friend Bill Brown joining us here in just a few moments. We'll also have national news and, of course,
let's see who's tuning in, who's commenting this morning.
Today.
That's one of my favorite parts.
My favorite part is everyone joining, especially our friend Carolyn Gibson. Were you on the show? You weren't on the show.
She brought us food.
She did.
She brought us those hummingbird or good morning cupcakes.
How do you remember this stuff?
At the salon.
She did. That's right. When we had our hometown spotlight.
Yes.
So, Carolyn, good morning to you.
I ate like 5 of those, by the way.
Kyle Kreiner joining us said, what a Junebug. Is that your nickname?
Junebug.
Live with Junebug and Rob?
I don't know who Junebug is.
I don't know. What's
it
up?
Was Jay Killa.
Jay Killa. Yeah, Jay Killa is what it was. Rick Boning over at Tomorrow's Promise chiming in already this morning. Tara Burnett saying those look she's talking about.
I know. Those cookies look great.
And we're going to have Tara on here before too long as well. Tara, we'd love to have you back on the show. And many other folks chiming in. Jennifer Augustinetti saying, have a blessed day and be safe. And then also Kathy Schweitzer chiming in this morning saying, good morning, Huntsville. She's on our wonderful school board here at HISD. And then the Lost Picture Show coming in this morning saying, good morning, folks. And is that what the cave in Tennessee was called? The Bell Witch Cave? Is that it? There you go.
The Bell Witch.
There's always somebody that knows.
Okay, so I know that's not what the show's about. There was like no real strong correlation between the Bell Witch and the cave.
The what? That was real country.
The Bell Witch and the cave. Like, Tony and I always like to go, like, we have a thing for caves. We like to go and look at the caves and the stalagmites and, all the, scientific stuff. But this was a really cool cave, and they could have done, like, a really great tour with it.
I'm just thinking of a new show on TLC tonight on stalagmites and stalactites, starring Justin Killingsworth.
I don't know. It had like they want to claim some remains in there. I'm like, okay, well, just lie and say that it was remains of the witch or something. I don't know. Like make a correlation because it did not. Anyways,
Kyle was saying my father-in-law calls my brother-in-law Justin Junebug. It stuck so well. Every Justin I know. Well, you get the Junebug nickname.
Thanks.
I'm not a fan of like June bugs. Those things are so annoying and they stick to you everywhere.
You know what? The one I hate the most is love bugs.
Oh yeah, the ones that
stick together.
The flat ones, and
they
pop.
Like,
yeah.
I'm like, nope. Those things are horrid.
All right, friends, we're going to step aside, take a break. Our first break is why Bill Brown on joining us here in just a few minutes. Want to remind you today, our show, of course, is brought to you by our friends at the Color Bar. They are your neighborhood hair salon, taking care and helping you be confident. Also, text in the keyword Hornets. We're giving away another $50 ticket to Lasso Your Imagination coming up here on October the 14th from 6 to 10.
Hey, I hear there's some pretty good live auction items at that Lasso Your Imagination.
Got a Joe Montana jersey there as well. So
I think you can possibly like win a whole year with me.
Yeah, Color Bar.
Yeah,
I've heard that.
Yeah. Ask Jennifer.
So some great.
That's quite a few of them. They like that.
Yeah. Well, text in that keyword Hornets alongside your name on the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line at 936-339-0139. For now, though, we'll step aside, take a break as we continue. It is your show, Huntsville. Good morning, Huntsville. We'll be right back after this.
USA News, I'm Lance Pry. President Biden has nothing on his public schedule for today. At noon Eastern, he will get a briefing today in the Oval Office on Ukraine from members of his national security team. The head of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas, is calling for construction of a partial border wall in Texas. The DHS secretary is citing an acute and immediate need to build a border wall in parts of Texas where illegal immigration has surged. The announcement published in the Federal Register calls for border wall construction in Starr County along the Rio Grande River, where the Biden administration says high illegal entry is paramount. The Anti-Defamation League says it plans to resume advertising on social media platform X. Elon Musk last month threatened legal action against the league, claiming their statements about increased hate speech on the platform had resulted in lost ad revenue for X. Yesterday, ADL said any allegations that it caused a big financial loss is false. Bleach and cleaning products company Clorox is warning that its third-quarter sales and profits took a big hit because of a cyber attack that wreaked havoc on their operations. Clorox said it expects 23 to 28% decline in sales. It also expects to post a loss per share of 35 to 75 cents. Clorox said the cyber attack that was discovered in August is still hurting production, although the effect is minimizing. Presidential candidate Donald Trump's campaign is reporting that it has raised more than $45 million in the third quarter of 2023. The campaign says it has almost $40 million on hand and close to the same number allocated for the primary campaign. Other GOP presidential challengers have yet to announce their third quarter fundraising amounts. Thanks for being there. My name is Lance Pry, USA News.
The healthcare open enrollment period has ended. Did you miss it? Don't worry. You can still get a healthcare program by signing up at Liberty Health Share. As a Christian healthcare sharing ministry, we are not insurance, so you can still sign up. You can pick your program, choose your own doctors and hospitals. We have programs for singles, couples, and families, all with no contract, starting at only $349 per month. Go to libertyhealthshare.org/Pastor Greg. libertyhealthshare.org/Pastor Greg. libertyhealthshare.org/Pastor Greg.
Restaurant chain Chipotle is starting to work with AI in the kitchen. Dave Collins explains.
The California-based company has introduced robots that skillfully put together the ordered meals for customers who use the Chipotle app. This isn't the first foray into robotic assembly for the fast food chain. Last year, a robot named Chippy was initially tested at a California restaurant and effectively showcased its proficiency in
Illuminate your child's future at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools in Huntsville. Established in 1997 by Kay Boning, our award-winning center merges Christian values with 25 years of Montessori excellence, promoting wonder and discovery in every child. As the only Montessori school within 45 miles, we provide a fun and friendly environment, individualized Montessori methods, and love and care as if each child were our own. Safety is a priority, and with a recent $50,000 investment, our facilities inspire growth, creativity, and learning. Plus, as a nonprofit, we open Montessori doors to families of all economic backgrounds. Partner with the community pillar where every child's promise shines bright. Discover Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools today. Visit tpms.life. That's tpms.life. There's a place in Huntsville and now in Conroe where you're more than a customer, you're part of the family. A place where style meets comfort and every visit feels like a treat. Welcome to the Color Bar Hair Salon. From the moment you walk in, our friendly stylists work to create a look that's perfect for you. Whether it's a fresh cut, a vibrant new color, or a blowout for that special occasion, at the Color Bar, we've got you covered. We pride ourselves on creating an environment where our guests can relax, enjoy a beverage, and let us do the pampering. We use top-notch products like Kevin Murphy and even offer hair extensions for those looking to add a little extra flair. And when it's got to be perfect, we ensure you leave looking and feeling your best self. But don't just take our word for it. Book a reservation or buy a gift card online and experience it firsthand. Visit us online at colorbartx.com and discover why at the Color Bar Hair Salon you get an experience that goes beyond. The Color Bar, where you belong. See you soon.
Welcome back in.
Bringing it in with some inspiration.
A little inspiration to flow your morning here on Good Morning Huntsville. Time now 7:28 a.m. If you got to be at work at 8 o'clock
You better
this morning,
hurry.
Hey, you still got time. I used to always say if you're supposed to be at work at 8, you better get there. If you get there at 7:55, you're on time. If you get there at 8, you're late. And if you get there at 8:05, well, you better go find another job.
You know, growing up, born and raised in this town, there used to be, I'm not going to name all the names, but there used to be a phrase, and if you're from this town, you'll remember it. But there used to be you would listen to it in the car, and it'd be like, "Come on, kids, let's go." But I don't hear that anymore.
Don't know.
Well, it used to be on a local radio station, and it was. I'm trying to remember the lady that used to always do it. I just loved her though.
Don't know.
Yeah, but I always remember that. Come on, kids, let's go.
Somebody, if you know who that is, message us this morning. Let's bring him on. He has been patiently waiting. I got to pay this man by the hour or by the minute, and he charges $60 a minute. Man, I'm already in the hole. I'm going to have to skip the mortgage this week. But let's bring on our good friend Bill Brown joining us. Bill, good morning, and thanks for your patience hanging out in the background this morning.
Good morning, Rob. I'm enjoying your show.
Well, it's great to see you. I'll give you a little bit of an introduction. Bill Brown is the former TV play-by-play man of the Houston Astros and former sportscaster. Spent several years also calling play-by-play for the Cincinnati Reds broadcast. Worked with the Astros from 1987 to 2016. A lot of television work as well from 75 to the 76 season for the Reds, and then continuing on until 1982. Just a lot of experience under the belt of Bill Brown. Became the announcer with the Astros in 1987. And the nickname Brownie, I think it was your play-by-play partner, Alan Ashby, that may have coined that. But I've never called you that, Bill, just because that's a name for those guys. I've just always called you Mr. Brown. So it's good to have you on.
Thank you. Drop the formality. Call me Brownie, Bill, whatever you want, Brownie.
Well, hey, man, I appreciate you being here. And first and foremost, I just appreciate, your humbleness. You've became a good friend to so many people, including myself. And anytime that I've had questions or concerns, and this industry can be tough in the broadcasting industry. And
You've always just answered the call or answered the text, and you've inspired and lifted me up, and not just me, but so many others. And Bill, it's such a pleasure to have you on this morning. How's life been? What have you been up to these days?
It's been great, Rob. Of course, retirement, can be different for different people, but I think the best advice is the one that's commonly given, to try to keep your mind active and things like that. So it becomes a little different kind of a challenge when you're not in the workplace anymore. But I like it. I come up with projects to do. Recently, I had a little surgery for an implant to get my heart working a little bit better. And it's gone really well. So I went from a heart rate of 43 resting heart rate to 60. And now I have all this extra energy from the pacemaker, Rob.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I did not realize that. And I'm glad everything's going well. And, I thought, there's so many Astros fans, obviously, here in Huntsville with the proximity to Houston. Every once in a while, I'll find a Texas fan or somebody else from outside the area. But I thought, with the Astros and the history that they've had, especially as of late, and, of course, winning the World Series last year, I said, man, this will be a great opportunity to have you on this morning and, not just share that experience, but just share some life experiences and just tell some stories over your career. One of the things that I really enjoyed, Bill, was you had a night to where you shared stories there at a local church in Houston. I went to that before we had moved to Fargo, and I just enjoyed hearing those stories that you shared. It's folks that tell stories just really lift up and inspire others. And maybe this morning, I know I'm kind of tossing this at you, but maybe one of your favorite stories in your career doesn't have to be related to the Astros, but maybe something that you said, this one really sticks out.
I love telling stories. I'm sometimes at a loss to remember all the details that I should remember, but I'll give you one. And this is, I think, something that speaks to what we all deal with, and that is our own limitations. So I was in the broadcast booth, and people ask me from time to time, what's the worst mistake you ever made? Well, that's going to take a lot of thought, because there are many tied for number one on that list. But one that really stands out was, you're doing baseball, you're going through a long season, and usually your concentration is an issue. When you get into July, August, the really hot months, and you're doing games every day, and it's more of a challenge to maintain your focus on what you're doing, even though it shouldn't be. It's only 3 hours a day, right? But there was this one game in Pittsburgh back in the 70s, and the Reds I was doing Reds games then. The Reds had a couple men on base with one out, and the batter hit a ground ball, and somebody stepped on a base for out number 2, and then there was a long rundown involving many throws, and they tagged the guy out for out number 3, we thought. And so the Pirates ran off the field. They ran into the dugout. Well, there really wasn't one out at the time. There wasn't anybody out. So I threw it to commercial, score is such and such. And then, we're gone for about 15 seconds, I think, in commercial. And I get this little voice in my ear from the producer. There are only 2 outs. So now we're in commercial, and that's always chaotic, as you know. Once you throw it to a break, you just can't get it back. You can't call somebody at the station and say, hey, could you? No, that doesn't work. So we came back. I had egg all over my face. Had to explain, well, it's only 2 outs. But it was so weird, because the entire Pirate team ran off the field and into the dugout. So they just completely caused me to assume that they knew how many outs there were. Bad assumption.
Well, when you come back from that, obviously you're right, the commercials have to play. I mean, how did you explain that to the audience? Just walk us through that.
I don't know if I did. I just said, well, we made a mistake here. There were only 2 outs. The players ran off the field. We thought that was the end of the half inning, and we're wrong. But, I checked with the Pirates broadcasters, and in fact, they were kind of sucked in also, and they also went to commercial, so I didn't feel quite as bad, but still I didn't do my job very well.
It's easy for fans that are watching games or listening to games to be so critical, but there are so many moving parts. And as a broadcaster, of course, you try to always maintain professionalism, and it's those fun things. Me being back in this area and calling high school games now, I got so used to the collegiate level being very strict with their media timeouts and their breaks. Well, the high school level, I can't even take a 30-second break. As soon as a touchdown, I'll say, we'll be back in 30. I'm coming back on, and 15 seconds have already happened after the kickoff. So we're kind of experiencing that right now. Again, Bill Brown joining us, former broadcaster with the Houston Astros, Cincinnati Red, just a tremendous career over so many years. Bill, walk us through the journey of maybe just how you became a sportscaster. I know there's a lot of folks that always ask those questions, but maybe there's a young person today or a parent that has someone that's interested in getting into the industry. What advice would you have? And tell them a little bit about your story.
It's a good point. And I've worked with a couple kids at Bridgeland High School here close to where we live, and they're both doing great in college right now. So it's very encouraging to see what they're doing. So I was about their age when this bug hit me that we all have who want to do play-by-play or be in sports. And this is just what I wanted to do. And, I just didn't have a plan B. So I grabbed a little tape recorder, went out to a game at the park and tried to do, and everybody's looking at you like, what is this idiot doing? What's this all about? But that's what we do. And you have to practice and you have to make your mistakes and then be critiqued by professionals and other people who listen to a lot of sports in order to get better. That's the process. Over and over and over, we do these things and we get sick of ourselves. We get tired of our own voices. I think the hardest thing to do is to critique yourself. So that's why so many of us want someone else to do it for them. But I went to school at Missouri, got a journalism degree, was lucky enough to get a job out of college in TV. But this is probably the most interesting part of my whole journey is that here I wanted to do sports, and I went to Channel 4 in San Antonio, WOAI, which was a big radio and TV operation, and I was a news guy, and they would not let me do sports. So I was, at that point we were shooting film. This was before tape, and I'd jump in the news cruiser and go out and film this and that and the other thing, shootings and stabbings and late night stuff. And I hated it. But the boss, the news director, and I would talk about baseball all the time because he had played minor league baseball. And he knew that I had a passion for it, but he said, well, I just can't put you on the air on weekend sports. I said, why not? He said, you look too young. I said, well, I thought we were supposed to be trying to have a young audience out there for the sponsors that we want to attract. He said, well, it's a credibility thing. Can you grow a mustache? I said, no. My wife and I even went to a store and bought one of those mustaches and tried to trim it up to look right. And we blew it, and I just threw it in the wastebasket, said, that's it for that. And so there went my opportunity to be a sportscaster. So I would prepare the sportscast. I would type up the script. I would pull the slides and the video and hand them to the news anchor guy. He didn't want to do that sportscast, but this is what they told him to do. And we were both very, very frustrated. And so this is where I thought, well, okay, this might be my career now if I can't do sports. And then I got drafted into the Army. And lo and behold, I wind up going to Vietnam, and I get transferred to AFVN, which is the movie Good Morning Vietnam. You've probably seen that. That was that station. I worked for that station. The guy, Adrian Cronauer, was portrayed by Robin Williams in the movie, and so I was lucky enough to work for that station. And I did sports, every day, and that was probably the biggest break I got. Yeah.
Well, it's just a tremendous story, and Bill, I know you shared some of that. That's why I always love talking to you, because every time I chat with you, I learn something new. And of course, obviously, thank you for your service and the selfless sacrifice there. And it's amazing to see the journey that God puts us through, starting out somewhere, and we think that we have it all figured out. I go back a year ago, I would have never imagined being back in Huntsville, Texas,
broadcasting 3A high school football, now working for a church full-time as well as doing this. But, you have to be happy, I think, and I know you can attest to this, Bill. You have to find joy where you're at in life.
Yeah, you're not in control of things like that as much as you want to be. But nonetheless, you realize, okay, God's given me these gifts. Maybe this is how he wants me to use them. I don't know. And give it your best shot.
Exactly. Well, again, Bill Brown is here with us this morning on Good Morning Huntsville. Appreciate him joining us. And, this show is all about lifting up and inspiring folks. And we like to bring in people from outside the community from time to time to give a different perspective. And again, as I mentioned earlier, obviously a ton of Astros fans here. I kind of wanted to dig into that a little bit this morning. I know a lot of our viewers and listeners are eager to hear kind of your thoughts on the program and how it's progressed over the years. There's been so many exciting changes. Maybe from you, just something that you remember from your broadcasting days of the Astros, and then what you're most excited about as of late with how things are going and the success that they've been having.
Well, in '87 when I first got here, that was right after the big '86 NLCS loss to the Mets. But it was a good team, but it was an older team, and so it took years to regroup. And so I didn't get my first shot at working for a playoff team till '97. And then we had 4 division titles in 5 years. So that was fantastic. And then we had the 04 and 05 playoffs. Those teams were great. And we had Clemens and Pettit and, of course, Bagwell and Biggio and all the mainstays. But then went into that rebuilding, if you call it that, after 05. And then, it was 15 before the team was back in the playoffs again. So another 10-year gap. And you realize that if you're fortunate enough, blessed enough to be in baseball with a team, you're going to be riding a roller coaster as far as the fortunes of that team. And if you don't like doing baseball when your team loses 90 some odd games or 100 games, then you're in the wrong profession because you just can't, as a broadcaster, you have no control over what the team does. You have no control over decisions that are made, although you have your own opinions about trades and things like that. But riding that roller coaster, I could see when A.J. Hinch came in and the team had really had this strategy of trading all the older players, getting the payroll down to the lowest level and rebuilding that way. And it was painful. 3 straight years with 100+ losses. But I found out that I still liked baseball. I didn't like the way the team was playing, obviously, but we could see something coming. And these young players would get up to the big leagues, and they'd do well. And so by 15, when we had Correa and Springer and Altuve and these guys, I thought that was one of the most encouraging times. And then to see them go ahead and validate that by going on this playoff run, starting in 17 with the 6 straight ALCSs. This has been the best I've been around. I was with back-to-back World Series teams in Cincinnati in 75 and 76, but for sustained success, this team is it for me. I think just watching the young guys come up and following and their careers and being blessed to do Biggio's whole career, Bagwell's whole career. These are things that hit you when you're retired and looking back on things. And man, that really worked out far better than anybody could have thought in the Brown family, I promise you. So I think that's, what I take from it more than anything, Rob, is just this whole era of the current team that we have, how we got here. This year's been more of a struggle. I think this series coming up for the Twins is going to be a real challenge. The Twins are very good. And so this is not, people assume we're going to be in the ALCS again this year. That would be far from my assumption. I think, these teams are even going into it. Somebody has to step up and play better. And the Astros are challenged to do that. They've really had to struggle to get to where they are. But also, they know how to play in postseason, and they've demonstrated that.
I think there was a lot of excitement, too. Obviously a lot of fans were, I wouldn't say burned, but maybe disappointed when Verlander left. And then he comes back, and it kind of seemed like there was a little renewed sense of I don't know how to describe it. Just this renewed sense of optimism for this team. I don't know if it ever fell away too much, but talk about maybe a little bit about the impact that he has had on this program for so many years.
Well, certainly in 17, he was the difference. Now, that team was going to be in the playoffs when they traded for him, but there was just so much additional excitement when he arrived on the scene. And then we, went through Hurricane Harvey and all this stuff, and there was a lot going on that year. But when it got to postseason, he made a difference, as he has in the other postseasons he's been in, even though he's only won one World Series game, and that was last year. So he's had a Hall of Fame career, but the World Series part of it has not been up to the standards he's set in the regular season. Nonetheless, it's just his leadership and the fact that that you've got a number one guy, and he may not even pitch game one of this series. I don't know if Fromber might pitch game one, but a number one guy in the minds of people who followed baseball, and hey, he's had a Hall of Fame career. He's the number one name you think of on the Houston pitching staff. To be in that clubhouse and lead this team and do some things that even he hasn't had a chance to do before in his career, as far as being part of a team as good as the ones he's been on here. That I think has been very big, both in 17 and this year, because this year I think everybody knew, especially after the Rangers got Scherzer, the Astros have to do something now. And they were able to put that deal together, and I didn't know if they would be or not, but I think that could mean a big difference going forward.
Looking forward to the postseason. Don't want to look too far ahead. A lot of chatter already saying, oh, wow, it could be the Astros and the Rangers in the ALCS. We'll see, but that's wait. I got to ask you this question, because I catch myself doing this. And again, it's amazing how things work out. And when you have joy where you're at, how much better things are, and your perspective is in life. I thought, man, I'm going to come back to this area. I'll be able to pick up a college team somewhere and just kind of continue where I was at. That obviously didn't happen, but I'll be honest, I'm enjoying actually having Saturdays off now. And for the first time ever, I was able to watch a Bearcats game as a fan. But I wanted to ask you this question, because as I was there in person watching the game, in my brain, I was still calling that game. Do you ever have those moments now that you're retired when you're watching an event such as baseball? Do you ever catch yourself in your mind calling that game?
When I was your age, yes. Now, no. Not now. I don't know. It's just almost when you get to, past the working stage of your career, you're in retirement, all that just seems so far in the rearview mirror to me, Rob. And it's more like I'm a fan now. I'm enjoying this. No, I don't want to think about calling this game. I wouldn't even be able to remember the names of the players anymore.
Well, that's like Justin next to me. He's a stylist. It does an awesome job. He has a new location down in Conroe, one here in Huntsville. And Justin, I'm sure one day, it's going to be a long time, but when you retire, I don't think you're going to think about cutting people's hair, right?
I don't know. It's kind of in my heart. Not gonna lie.
Justin will dream about it. He'll be in the middle of sleeping and just snipping his fingers like you're cutting hair, man.
Yeah.
So, well, Bill, I appreciate you so much for being here today and just sharing some of your insight and just lifting up our community and lifting up folks here just by telling stories. I did want to give you an opportunity to talk a little bit about your writing now. You put together a really awesome book about sportscasting. Just let us know about that and maybe some other projects that you're working on.
Well, it's funny you would ask. I've been wanting to do this children's book, Rob, and I've been very frustrated by it. So finally I found a way to do it. It couldn't happen through the school district where we are. They're very concerned with all the problems with books in schools, and that's ironic, because that's the whole reason I wanted to do a book with kids and for kids, was because of the content of some of the books in schools. So anyway, what I want the kids to do, and I went to a homeschool organization and met with the kids last week, and I wrote a little book, Mystery of Town Lake. We live at Town Lake in Cypress, so Mystery of Town Lake. And I want the kids to be the illustrators for the book. So I met with the kids, and some of their parents were there. And there were, I think, 7 kids in the meeting and 3 others who couldn't make it, who want to draw for the book, and told them, we're going to do a book, going to put a little book together for kids. You guys are going to do the drawings. And so I'm fired up about that. And I also, Rob, when I was looking at pennant races, just as a fan, I thought, wow, here we are going to the final couple days of the season. 3 teams could have been tied for the AL West title. Couldn't remember the last time that happened. So I'm searching my memory bank, which is now, sort of corroded. I've got some plaque to fight through to get some of these memories. But, I remember in 1964, a great pennant race that year. The Cardinals wound up winning, and they won the World Series in 7 from the Yankees. But the Phillies were leading almost all year long, and they lost 10 in a row. And so they went from a 6.5 game lead to being 1 game behind at the end. And I thought, wow, that was so historic. I don't know if we're ever going to see that again. So I started researching that. And then I kind of decided, well, I'm going to turn this into a novel about the year 1964, because this was such a watershed time in our country. And I was a junior in high school. But Kennedy had just been assassinated. There was a lot of unrest on college campuses, the hippie movement. We had Vietnam, just the racial stuff, all kinds of things going on in this world that year. So that's what I'm researching. It's something to work on, Rob. It may take, who knows, may never get finished, but that's what I enjoy doing.
Well, boy, that's great. I'm going to put a link up for folks as well. Again, Bill Brown joining us here this morning on Good Morning Huntsville, former broadcaster for the Cincinnati Reds, and relating to this area of the Houston Astros. And he does have quite a few books. You can find them on Amazon. I just put a link up on the screen. For those of you listening on the Spirit Radio app, you can just go to Amazon.com, type in Bill Brown as the author. And if you see anything related to the Astros or to sports casting, that's the right author. And you can see some of those books. And Bill, before we really got to know each other, it was something that really meant the world to me. Of course, one of my best friends and business partner, Carl Schoening with SHN Sports, you had put a small blurb in your sports casting book about that. And thankful here today, almost 10 years into it, we're still doing SHN, but it has now turned more into a teaching and training platform. And our vision eventually is to get guys that have been at that professional level. There's a lot of people out there that talk about, hey, here's what you do and this and that, but our vision and our dream has kind of switched now to teach and train people and to get guys involved, maybe such as yourself and folks like Mike Capps and Bill Schoening and Craig Way and Bill Mercer involved, because you guys have been there, you've done it, and there's nobody better in the business to teach you how to do it than y'all, and you've put together some incredible resources in those books over the years, Bill.
Thank you. Put me down, no charge. If you want me to talk to the kids sometime, I'd be happy to do it, Rob.
So just $60 a minute is off the table now, right?
Off the table, yeah.
So, well, Bill, thanks so much for joining us. Is there anything else that maybe you had on your mind that you wanted to say before we let you go, my friend?
No, but I did enjoy coming to Huntsville, going to Sam Houston, talking to the kids in that journalism program. And I think, it's time to give back. When you get to the end of the line in your career, it's time to remember that people my age, when I was your age, Rob, helped me. So we can't ever forget that.
Awesome. Well, Bill, we appreciate it. We'll have to coordinate a day for you to come down here to Huntsville and tell some stories, and we'll get a big group together. And we will pay you for that one. I'll at least get you dinner if you won't let us pay you. So,
well, whatever you want, my friend, whatever you want.
All righty. Well, hey, Bill, thanks for joining us. Appreciate your time this morning, and have a blessed day.
Okay, thanks, Rob. Justin. Bye-bye.
All right, there he was, Bill Brown, former broadcaster for the Cincinnati Reds and the Houston Astros. Wanted to have Bill on this morning, and so appreciate his time. And it's fun to be, even if you're not a sports guy, it's fun just to go and listen to somebody
great stories.
Like Bill Brown to tell stories.
He kept saying names. I was like, okay, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, but it's fun stories, though. And, I went, he had spoke at a church and just had like a night of stories. And for me, I didn't know the history of a lot of what he was chatting about, but it was just like inspirational. It was fun, and Bill's one of those guys that's really engaging, and so I think
that's what we're about, is an inspirational.
Yeah, and I think it's important too. You think about this. Maybe there's some things in life that you're just like, I'm not really interested in that, but I still think once in a while it's kind of cool to get out and just expand your mind a little bit and listen to people and let them share stories. And That's what I love chatting with Bill, because there's so many other stories besides the sports. You know, him being involved in news, and he was saying,
I'm sure he's seen all kinds of things.
Yeah, and he was sitting there saying, he's like, I did news, I hated it. I didn't like it at all. It reminds me of Bill Schoening, who is the voice of the San Antonio Spurs in the NBA. He's been doing it well over 20 years now. But Bill was actually here in Huntsville, worked at the local radio station, and part of his job, though, was to work with the Associated Press. And at the time, the station had access at the Walls unit whenever the executions happened.
Oh, yeah.
And Bill had to cover the executions. And Cooter, of course, everybody knows Cooter, the voice of Huntsville, always and forever. And Cooter was on air one time, and the governor had issued a stay of execution. Well, Bill got paid $50 for every execution that he covered from the AP. And so Cooter was saying, he was joking around, and he said, he goes, Governor blah, blah, blah has issued a stay of execution for whoever. He goes, Bill Schoening will not be paid $50 because he didn't get to cover it that night. So it's always a lot of great stories. Well, friends, we are here on a Thursday with Justin Killingsworth of the Color Bar. We are going to step aside, take a quick break, and we've got more as we continue to celebrate all things good happening in Huntsville. Do want to remind you, our keyword is Hornets, alongside your name on that Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cassine text line at Cassine at 936-339-0139. We're giving away some great treats from the Purple Cactus and also a $50 ticket to Lasso Your Imagination. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. As always, it is your show. Good morning, Huntsville. We'll be right back after this.
There's a place in Huntsville and now in Conroe where you're more than a customer, you're part of the family. A place where style meets comfort and every visit feels like a treat. Welcome to the Color Bar Hair Salon. From the moment you walk in, our friendly stylists work to create a look that's perfect for you. Whether it's a fresh cut, a vibrant new color, or a blowout for that special occasion, at the Color Bar, we've got you covered. We pride ourselves on creating an environment where our guests can relax, enjoy a beverage, and let us do the pampering. We use top-notch products like Kevin Murphy, and even offer hair extensions for those looking to add a little extra flair. And when it's got to be perfect, we ensure you leave looking and feeling your best self. But don't just take our word for it. Book a reservation or buy a gift card online and experience it firsthand. Visit us online at colorbartx.com and discover why, at the Color Bar Hair Salon, you get an experience that goes beyond. The Color Bar, where you belong. See you soon.
When you live and work in the town where you were born and raised, lots of people become just like family. I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. Over the years, we've shared a lot of good times and some tough times, and I'm honored to be the one you call on in your time of need. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, our goal is to help our neighbors in need and always provide the most outstanding service available, even on those really tough days. I thank you for your trust in us. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we're here for you.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas.
In the spirit.
Hey.
In the spirit, Justin.
In the spirit.
Of National
Day of.
National Get Funky Day.
Get funky.
How about that little? All right, Justin, here.
So we should have a little.
Hold on, dude. This is all you.
Wait, why all me?
Just go for it, man.
We should have a little little thing where people send in their videos of them dancing, getting funky today.
We should. You know what I'm working on? I need to get somebody to sponsor. I'm going to do it. I have to have a sponsor for it, and it's extremely affordable. Great exposure.
For the low cost of. This show is now, by the way, I know some people hop on, they say, I only see 3 or 4. Well, we're on multiple platforms. So the platform you're on, there may only be 3 or 4. But by the end of each day, 24 we're up to
hours.
10,000.
No, but we're up to about.
You just got to keep saying it. It'll happen.
We're up over 600 right now, which isn't bad. The YouTube channel's getting more exposure. Our podcast now on Spotify and Anchor FM, which is now, it was always Spotify, but they've rebranded. Those are on all the platforms. I'm working on getting all of our episodes up to date. But it is a great platform. Perfect example was our friend Jason Thompson has received 2 calls now. Just in the last couple of weeks from exposure that he's received here. Folks have came out to the gun range. And so what I really enjoy, and I wanted to be, I don't think maybe I've talked about this, but folks on social media have seen, I'm very blessed and thankful to have accepted a position at First Baptist Church here in Huntsville. I'm bringing this up because I don't want people to think that Hello Huntsville or this show is going anywhere.
Hey, you know how those rumors start here in Huntsville.
Yeah, that's why they call that little mascot Buzzy, because he gets in your ear. Just like, everyone's like, oh, the color bar's closing down. No, it's not. It's here. It's staying.
Not going anywhere.
Got a lot of customers here. You're growing. Things are happening. But the reason I brought that up is because we are still fully committed. What I'm most excited about, I did not want Hello Huntsville to turn into an advertorial platform. And so now with this new opportunity with First Baptist, it takes a lot of pressure off of me having to go out and sell a ton of additional marketing opportunities. It's not that I don't want to help folks. I absolutely want to help folks. But my ultimate goal is to have about 10 to 20 people that are kind of our core. No, because we want to celebrate the good happening in town. And so, it gives me more of an opportunity now to really focus on our Foundation 5, such as the Color Bar. We've just brought on great friends, Terry Coleman, Vicki McKenzie is real estate expert. Sam Moak has a legal column that we do. Adler Family Toys has just joined us, Shane and his wife Madeline. And so it allows us to really focus in on taking care of the folks that have been an integral part of our launch, and then about 10 more or so. And that's kind of where we're going to cut it. I don't want to say that like if you're interested. No, by all means, please reach out. But as far as ongoing advertisements of things like this or special sections, there is one, though, that I'm working on that I absolutely want to find a sponsor for. And it is going to be a fun one, and it's going to tie into the show. I've reached out to an audiology company here in town, have not heard back from them, so it's open right now. It would work really well for someone that's involved in hearing, but anybody could do this, and I think it's going to be a great opportunity for exposure because the community is going to latch onto this. But I want to do a secret sound on the show every day. And what we'll do is you have an opportunity to call in, and you have to guess the secret sound. Well, if you don't get it, every day the jackpot gets higher and higher. And so, and I've seen this happen in the Austin area. I mean, one time the jackpot was up to like $4,000 because people could never figure out the sound.
I have the perfect audiologist.
So there you go, man. And so,
fantastic woman.
Looking for somebody to sponsor that secret sound. And it'll start out like this, probably like, $10 a day. Well, guess what? If people don't get it after 5 days, now the jackpot's at $50. If they don't get it after the first 2 weeks, you're at $100.
Okay. So speaking of secret sound,
how does this go? How does this trigger your brain?
Wait, because it goes back to Huntsville Intermediate School.
Okay.
Being born and raised here, I had this wonderful science teacher. His name was Larry Fasaro. Larry is sings in the men's choir and does all these things. And I actually do his daughter's hair. So I was literally just talking to her about this. Well, in Mr. Fasaro's class, he was teaching a lesson on sound. Well, he would play a random sound, right? Oh, you've switched cameras on me.
Yeah, you're on.
He would play a random sound, and it was like a test, and you had to write down what the sound was. One of them was like a cricket. One of them was like the toilet flushing, and just on and on and on. But I vividly remember this lesson, and I don't know, that was my story. I'm sticking to it. I don't know. I just remember that, and Mr. Fasaro is such an amazing guy. He volunteers out at the Hearts Veterans Museum all the time. Like I said, he's part of the men's choir. I think he's even part of Rotary. I don't remember, but anyway.
I've heard of the name. What was his name again?
Larry Fasaro.
I've heard of Larry Fasaro before. So.
Actually adopted some kids,
That's great,
Naomi, and quite a few others. So he's just a really great guy.
Big events happening this weekend here in Huntsville, obviously.
Which camera? Oh, we're on this
Fair
one
on the
now.
Square happening this weekend.
I don't even get a notice. You just
There's
flip
no
it
tally
on me.
light.
I know.
I just flip it like this while we're talking.
I know.
See?
You throw me off, and then I look over because we don't have this TV screen that I've asked for.
I've heard that maybe that's coming.
Yeah,
somebody,
I'm going to bring one because I'm
somebody's going
tired.
to donate that again as well. But big events happening this weekend. By the way, tonight, if the rain clears out of here, they're going to make a decision at 5:30. But some of the teachers at Huntsville High School, they are senior sponsors. It is the homecoming parade. It's going to happen just shy of downtown here tonight. And so at 5:30, they will put out an official announcement from what I've heard, pending rain or storms. But I think this stuff's probably going to clear out of here by later this evening. It is open to the community to come attend. I've had a lot of folks reach out and say, hey, I'm a business. Can I be involved? They did not want any business or political floats in the homecoming parade because they wanted to keep it about the students and the organizations on campus. And so still a great opportunity. Come out, support the Hornets. They will open up the new Huntsville ISD Stadium. Junior varsity actually already opened it up with a commanding victory this past Thursday, but the varsity team will open up the new stadium. That happening on Friday as they are playing Rudder, and it is going to be incredible just for this community. We already gave away our Hornet tickets. Big thanks to Lisa Blackburn at Huntsville ISD for providing those.
She's just amazing.
Great lady. So that's happening Friday tonight, the homecoming parade. Fair on the Square gets underway Friday night, 6 o'clock. They're going to start with some music from 6 to 10.
And then we also have like the Sam Houston homecoming parade coming up.
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
Hang on, I can tell you when. I've gotten several emails about it.
I've sent out emails saying, hey, can I get on the PR list for all this? And there's events that happen throughout the town that I'm still not privy to, and we want to promote those here on Hello Huntsville. So if you have events, if you're a business owner and you're having events, send those to us and let us know, because that's what we do on the show is we promote all things good happening here in Huntsville. I figured that there probably was. They used to combine them. They used to combine those.
November 2nd.
So that's still a ways away.
Yeah, it's a little ways away.
But businesses can be in that parade.
Businesses can be a part of this. I don't know if it's open or invite only. But you can definitely reach out to, one second, the program coordinator at 936-294-3862.
Okay. There you go. So that's where you can get involved. And we'll have more information. Justin, I appreciate you pulling that up because I did receive a press release about that parade a while back. So they used to combine them. They used to combine the Hornets and Sam Houston. Now they're separate, but that's okay. So it's more opportunity for more fun.
Community events.
And
we
you know
like
what it is?
Community events.
More parades. Yesterday on the show, we counted 7 parades that happened, and now that's 8 that happened here in Huntsville.
8, huh?
8
you
parades.
got the Walker County, you got the homecoming, you got
Walker County. Which one is that?
The fair.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't even know about that. There you go, 9.
You got the fair. Where's the others?
There's a 4th of July parade at Elkins. So that's 1. Okay. There's a Christmas parade.
But how many parades do they close the street for?
Well, I'm just thinking of parades in this community. Elkins is included.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't go back and count them now, but there's like 8 or 9. So
Elkins has like 5 themselves.
That's the only one I've known of is the 4th of July one out there. Because Greg Smith shows up, hands out water from Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home.
No, they have another one too.
Yeah, they might. I don't know. Anyways, we're going to because of this is what we do on Hello Huntsville. Because of this,
we're going to put together a parade schedule for you.
There literally is going to be a parade guide on the website. Someone the other day was asking too, they just said, we just moved here. Where can I go walk? Where can I hike? We're going to put together a walking and hiking guide.
There's lots of there men and women's groups of hiking groups here in Huntsville too. So
yeah, biking, hiking, triking.
Oh, Brad, he's a big biker.
Brad. From
he used to be
Sherman.
He used to be a wrestling coach at the high school.
Oh, you're thinking about a different Brad. Okay.
Brad. I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah,
I'll think about it.
Anyways, a lot of great things happening. Go to our website, HelloHuntsvilleTX.com. Scroll down at the bottom. You can find out more. Hey, you know what it is today? I did mention earlier because we had that little funky music coming in. It is National Get Funky Day today. I thought you were going to come in like a bodysuit, like a red bodysuit.
You have to give me a heads up for these
Adidas
things,
stripes. Today, how about this? And this should be every day. It's sad that we have to have a day for it. It's National Do Something Nice today.
Absolutely.
National Do Something Nice.
Well, we're going to do something really nice and give these cookies away today.
We are. we're going to do that here in just a few moments.
National Apple Betty Day. Apple Betty Day.
I don't even know what the Apple
I
Betty
don't know.
is.
It looks good, though.
The Apple Betty is known as an apple. It's like the same thing as like a apple fritter.
The crock pot version, though? That's what that is. That's the
man,
crock
that's
pot
good.
version.
Apple crisp, crumble, or cobbler, the American variant of is known as the Betty or the Brown Betty, dates back to colonial times. Today is
Brown Betty.
Apple Betty.
Why does
Day.
that remind me of like the TV show SWAT and Black Betty?
I have no idea, Justin. I don't know where your
I
brain
don't know.
goes on this show.
It goes everywhere.
I don't know where mine goes either. You know what? This day in history, it's crazy to think that this has already been, 12 years ago. Steve Jobs passed away on this day in 2011. What
His
a tremendous...
launches just haven't been the same ever since.
No, nothing's really been the same, and the company is... obviously Apple's still rocking and rolling, but you have that pioneer behind. Steve Jobs, the funny thing was this is when like my IT nerdiness starts coming out. Bless you, Justin. This is when my IT nerdiness starts coming out. All of the, obviously great pioneers, but all of these guys kind of like worked off of each other's ideas. And so what happened with Apple was, there's something called the GUI, Graphic User Interface. All right, that's where we get our mouse and our screen and icons. Xerox was actually the company that developed that technology. Steve Jobs went in and saw it and said, man, we got to figure out how to do this. So Steve Jobs was invited to Xerox. He basically saw their idea. Now, he's the pioneer, right? So, I don't discredit the guy, but he saw what Xerox had developed, came back, developed the Apple Lisa. It was named after his daughter. And that project, they started also on the side, and the Lisa was more for business use. Very expensive, like $10,000 computer back then. So the average Joe couldn't afford it. So they said, we got to come up with a consumer-level computer as well. And that's how the Macintosh, the original black and white Mac, and I've got 4 of those things. I collect them. Bridget gets mad at me. She's like, get rid of those. But I have like the original Mac.
No, they're not going to fail.
Yeah, they don't. They only run on disk also. But it was funny because when I was at the station, Dave Donahue was there.
That's where you type your diary, isn't it?
Yeah, I used to.
So no one can hack it.
Yeah, well, I had one of the old Macs set up when I was at the station, and Dave Donahue came. He's like, I love this, man. You got this old junky computer in here. But that's how Apple got started. And then Bill Gates from Microsoft, Steve Jobs invited him over there, and literally like 2 weeks later, Bill Gates comes out with Windows 1.0. And Jobs is livid. He's like, you just ripped us off. And I'm sitting there thinking like, well, dude, you ripped off Xerox. So that's how then you can see all that in the movie, the Pirates of Silicon Valley. They all kind of, nabbed at each other. I wouldn't say stole, but they kind of, well, I guess they did. I
I don't know if each of them had their own, but they're all so different.
But they were all pioneers as well.
Yeah, they're all different.
So pretty cool stuff.
Who's going to be the next pioneer?
The next, he's already having is Elon Musk.
Oh, yes.
Musk is the huge pioneer right now.
Yes.
He's like the next Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
One other thing, since we're on this technology kick this morning, just heard it on national news a while ago. How about robots at Chipotle now making your food?
Go to Uber Burrito.
Yeah. Uberito.
So
Uberito. Because the AC turned off. Uberito. You said
Uberito.
Uber Burrito.
Well, I'm sure you can Uber it to yourself.
You know what's cool is Bridget and I stood in line when we first got back. This was like a welcome back to Huntsville gift.
You got the card.
Bridget and I stood in line. Man, I better still have that card. Bridget and I stood in line, and we have free burritos for life. I'm just kidding. It's only for a year. And it's 1 per month. So we got 12 free burritos. Yeah, we get them every month.
Oh, good.
I didn't use September, but they're really nice. And they'll just go ahead and mark September off. They're not going to cheat me out of one for not going last month.
How nice of them.
So anyways, great things happening. Let's get on the phone line and call our winner. We already have it selected on the randomizer, and here we go. Justin, I'm going to let you take this call. Don't answer. Don't win.
They already answered.
No. You're going to be really disappointed if they don't answer, too.
Hello.
Oh.
Hi. Who's speaking?
Oh. It's Birdie.
Hi, Birdie. How are you?
Hi, Justin. I'm doing good.
I'm even happier now because you just won a box of cookies that you have to share with me.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, so we just won a box of cookies. I'm really excited.
We did just win a box of cookies.
I like how you said we, and she's the one who texted in.
Well, I can't win, but kind of did.
Yeah.
So, Birdie, what are you doing
I'll
this
share during the meeting.
Lovely rainy morning?
I'm literally about to run to my car.
Oh, that's
my
fun.
children stole my umbrella.
Yeah, it's funny. My exchange student. He was Snapchatting me this morning, standing in the rain. I was like, "Dude, why didn't you take the umbrella?" He's like, "What is that? Where is it?" I was like, "Really, dude?"
It's like all the poor defeated college students I saw yesterday just walking in it. They accepted defeat. They were just like, "Okay, this is how
fine.
it is."
Too late. I bet the bookstore umbrella sales were up that day.
I bet.
We'll have to ask Garrick Long.
We're here with the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line. Birdie Pulley, our winner today. She texted in and won a delicious box of treats from our friend Amy with the purple cactus. And you guys will have to take a stack of her cards and put them on the desk there at the color bar so other folks can enjoy these too. So, Birdie, congratulations. When are you going to be on the show again?
Next week.
I'll see you next week.
Oh, man, you got to pay her like big bucks to be on this show too, probably. Yeah.
She becomes famous.
Yeah. So, Birdie, keep up the great work. Hey, real quick, Birdie, I heard that just in the last couple of weeks, like your clients over at the Color Bar have doubled already. Tell us about that.
They have. It's so exciting. So I think one of the opportunities of being able to be on the show with you guys has really gotten the word out, and I really appreciate that.
Thanks for that plug, because I was worried about Justin, pulling off the show next month. So thank you for that, Birdie. I will be glad to give you your $50 that we talked about before this phone call. Just kidding. Birdie, have a blessed day. Thanks so much for texting in and winning, and congratulations.
You too, Rob. Thank you.
All right, there. Just kidding.
Wait,
I did not
you
pay her.
didn't. We have to call her back.
Well, she knows. She already knows.
What?
What she'll talk about what she's thankful for on Thursday.
I guess
we're messing up the flow of the show.
We're messing up the flow of the show.
All right, well, friends. Hey, by the way, Stephanie Pitts was joining us on the Huntsville, Texas News and Events group. We can't see those comments unless I pulled that one up on our phone. I want to encourage you, if you do watch in the group there. By the way, over 13,000 members in that group now, which is awesome.
Awesome.
If you watch in that group, I encourage you to go over though and like the Hello Huntsville page and follow it and watch there, because your comments will be able to interact with you there. Rachel Drake joining us there.
One of my favorite things to do is read the comments.
Tara Burnett joining us. My sweetheart Bridget joining in, saying good morning. Jay Elm saying thank the Lord for the rain. He's over at Century Security. Ashley Horton over at the Huntsville Item is watching as well. So thank you to all of y'all. Jamie Saucier back on our other platform. Old Santa joining us, saying good morning. Jay Elms cheering on the Astros, and many, many other folks. Well, Justin, been a fun day today, man.
It has.
What's up? What's going on this week with you?
This week. Got some events down in Conroe. Have a wonderful, have Lobster Fest tonight. Super excited about being a part of that. We have Fair on the Square this weekend. Downtown last week had a fantastic, it was Parents Weekend with Sam. Had a fabulous turnout. Rob and Logan taking the reins with the Huntsville Downtown Business Alliance. We're rocking and rolling. I rolled over yesterday and I was like, we're about to get really busy. It's 4 weeks till Halloween, 8 weeks till Thanksgiving, and 12 weeks till Christmas. So we just started the countdown, the holiday countdown. What are you looking at, Rob?
I was going to show something. That's why I'm so thankful that you keep carrying us here.
Okay, I'm supposed to keep carrying us.
Yeah. So how can folks get connected? Maybe they're in Conroe. Where do they go? How do they get connected to the new location at Conroe for folks that are outside the community?
Everything is so very simple. It is all the same phone number, so you can schedule reservations by calling 936-439-4972. We have lots of opportunities. We have a lot of marketing out there. Also, you can book online anytime at colorbartx.com. A really big black button right in the middle of the screen says book now.
Click on it, book now.
And that'll be for both locations.
Jay Killa or one of his staff will take care of you.
At our third location, you do have to call in order, because it is in order to book your reservation, because it is closed off to members at Creekside.
Yeah, I was about to say third location. Yeah, you got to call. You better be over at Creekside for that one.
Yeah, you have to be at Creekside in order to enjoy those services there. But
did want to leave everybody with a big thank you to Justin Killingsworth and all the great work that he does. Please support these local businesses. We wouldn't be able to bring you this show and celebrate the good happening in Huntsville without folks like Justin and the Color Bar. We so appreciate all that you do in the community, Justin, and your service here does not go unnoticed. I've always said this too, maybe you're in a season. Here's the inspiration this morning, besides some things that Bill had talked about. Maybe you're in a season this morning to where you feel like you're putting in a ton, and maybe there's one or two that are kind of like, yeah, you're not doing a whole lot or coming at you. And I want you to know this morning, friends, that whenever you remain in faith and whenever you remain in your passion and whenever you do good, don't allow one or two things to overrun that. And I've talked about this with numerous people over the years. Don't give in to the negative energy that's not lifting you up. This morning, friends, focus on the things that are going great and continue to give those things energy. I'm not saying that you don't need to work on some things, but what I am saying is don't spend all day worrying about what other people think or worrying about, man, what if this happens or that happens. Focus on the good things and celebrate those times. And I think that that's important, not just for us, but it's important for our overall health. Our emotional health literally dictates our physical health in every area of our body.
Absolutely. You know, one thing I always like to say, Rob, is Jesus Christ himself had haters. And you know what? It's okay.
Yep.
You just got to be kind.
I always say this, haters are going to hate.
What's the rest?
Haters are going to hate. I was trying to think of a rap to go with it. Like, haters are going to hate, but I eat hamburgers and I'm overweight. But that didn't make sense, so we're not going to do that. So that's kind of negative. So anyway.
It's okay. It's like those yoga pants.
Yeah. In all seriousness, though, friend, just focus on the good things and don't give energy. Yeah, you need to address some things that are going on, but don't sit around. You know, I've been around people that just go on and on and on and on and hours and hours and hours about woe is me and, man, this person did me wrong. Don't focus on that stuff.
Jonathan Horton said, amen to that.
So there you go. Jay Horton joining us this morning, and appreciate you as well. Did want to leave you with this, too, as some of our city workers are on Public Works. We appreciate those guys cruising by this morning. They're even waving at us. And
I love
guys.
the Parks and Rec people.
I was almost going to go to the remote cam there and give those guys a shout out.
Okay.
Here's a little something to leave you with this morning.
Look at that cutie.
A little Caden. That's my boy. And Bridget, my sweetheart, just texted me in earlier, and Caden says, "Good morning, Daddy." So good morning, little buddy.
He has like the most beautiful hair.
Yeah, he's a little.
Those natural highlights he has. He was so cute.
He's a good little boy. And I did want to ask folks, I don't ever make things on the show about me, but I would ask our little girl's got to go in for a pretty routine little procedure on a Monday, Columbus Day. So just keep her in your prayers. She's got they call it a dermoid cyst is what they think it is. It's gotten a little bit bigger. She's had it since she was like 3 months old on her temple, but it's she's already been put to sleep once for tubes in her ears. And so I'm not worried about any of that, but they're just going to put her down for a little bit and then take that cyst out, and she'll be good to go.
Snail slime.
Yeah, little snail slime.
No, I'm for real.
What is that?
Snail slime. It's so beneficial and for scarring, stretch marks, all the things, which is fantastic.
What do you do? Go to the duck pond and smash one and rub it on your face?
You can order it. We call it the beauty corner, right? The beauty corner. Use snail slime. Get rid of your stretch marks and scars.
Old snail slime. That's the word today. Snail slime. That's a keyword next week.
Yeah. Yes.
Keyword next week, by the way. We've got that in the works, so you'll have to tune in next week. It may be something to do with Lasso Your Imagination. Just throwing it out there.
Awesome.
All right, Justin.
I know that's Lasso Your Imagination is October 14th at 6 o'clock. Make sure you're there. You can purchase your tickets online as well as get with Kay at Tomorrow's Promise.
And Birdie won one also.
Birdie won one as well. So super excited about that. If you do not know what Lasso Your Imagination is, it is the part of the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, helping to provide books for kids. No, you didn't.
No, I didn't. I was tricking you. I reached down and switched you.
It is books for kids. Any kid that registers gets a book mailed to them, I believe, up until age 5.
0 to 5.
So just a wonderful program that Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools is a part of that helps and orchestrates all of that. So super excited to be able to be a part of that.
And they are a nonprofit, a 501c3
They are.
nonprofit, by the way. I know folks have said, hey, these funds, where do they go? Tomorrow's Promise 501c3 nonprofit goes to help pay for the shipping costs. Over 700 books going out every month
just
now.
rolled. No,
we
800
rolled
now.
9. Whoa, I was
we
way
just
off.
rolled over 900 books mailed out a month.
That's right, 900. And we talked about this yesterday.
It's really funny because Kay came to me last year about this event and asked me to help coordinate it and put it together, and I said I would love to, but I want more books being mailed out. Like I want us to physically see a difference, and so we're at 900 books.
900.
Last year I think we were at like 680. So talk about growth, and our community is so gracious to help with that. And this is a program that costs kids or parents nothing, and it is not income based. It doesn't matter if you make $500,000 a month or you make $5 a month. You can register for this, and your kids can get the book.
They need them, and big thanks to Kay and all the community support for helping to make this event. It's going to be a great success coming up on October the 14th. Justin, been fun, man. Good to have you back.
Yes.
I look forward to the first Thursdays of the month now.
Thanks.
Because old Jay Killa and Brenda Poe a while ago said, love you, JK. Love you, JK. Keep up the good work. I thought it meant like, love you, just kidding. Keep up the great works, guys.
JK, J Killa.
All right, guys, that'll wrap it up here. We'll be baggett tomorrow. Our good friend Bill Doggett will be joining us, County Commissioner.
Oh, he's so
Precinct 3, going to give us an update, little state of the county, and some of the projects that they've got cooking here in the county.
Did you know
make
he
sure
has
to
a
cook
really
it.
cool car?
I did not. We'll ask him
You'll
about
have
that
to ask him about that car tomorrow.
Maybe we'll ask him to roll up.
He's won quite a few awards with that car.
I did not know about this
Yeah,
car. So
you'll
he'll
have
be
to
with
ask him
us.
about the car.
We'll be here tomorrow with Billy Cawthon, Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, and again, Bill Doggett, giving us an update on the county. That'll wrap it up here on this edition of Good Morning Huntsville. Friends, as I end every single broadcast, I want to remind you this morning that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We truly need each other. Provide a word of encouragement, lend a hand of support. Somebody out there needs you. Good morning. God bless. We'll see you back at it 7 a.m. tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone.